Hello and welcome to Gardening at 58 North. In this video I'd like to show you an update of my hyacinth bulbs here. So they've done quite well, the hyacinth plants, the whole summer almost. They've had foliage. It's only as soon as we came into August that the foliage really died back, so they've spent the whole summer absorbing the energy from the sun. I think they've lasted so long because we have quite cool summers here in Scotland, so they weren't entirely sure when this would go dormant. Where they are naturally in the wild, they get very hot, dry summers, so they know when to go dormant, but this is just prolonged their growing period, which is good because the bulbs are now really fat. So I'll just take a few up here. I've already turned them upside down because we've actually had some quite cold weather, and that cold weather has actually encouraged them to grow roots, and I'll show you one here. You can see there's a few roots that have started to grow, and it's really the wrong time of year for these to start growing their roots. It's really autumn they should grow their roots when it's colder, but as I say, it's quite cool summers in Scotland, so the bulbs can sometimes do that. If you have a cold spell, the roots start to grow again. So you can see that they're really quite big. I think they might actually be slightly bigger than they were when I bought them, which is actually quite a surprise, because normally when you force bulbs to flower in the middle of winter, like I did with these, you don't get such big fat bulbs, you get thinner ones, but it's done well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see if any other leaves gently pull off, and pull them off if they do come off by themselves. And just have a look around. You can see there I've got a lot of them have actually started to grow some baby bulbs, so I'm just going to break off these baby ones and they can grow up by themselves, because I just want to have a few large bulbs with nice big flowers. I don't want the little ones, so the little ones are too small to flower, and what they will do is just have lots of leaves and they'll kind of just make the display not quite as good. So I'm not going to peel off any of the old material unless it's quite damp and going rotten, because that actually protects the younger plant underneath. So you don't want to peel off any of this unless it's really going rotten. So I'll check out the other ones. You can see this one here is a bit smaller, but I think that's because it's put a lot of its energy into a new bulb there. You can see that new bulb is actually quite big. So I can just break that off, plant it, and that will grow for next year. As I say, it will just grow foliage. This one's also gone a bit crazy because it's grown all these tiny little bulbs at the bottom. Get a close-up shot for you. This is quite annoying actually, because it means it's a lot smaller. It could put most of its energy into the other bulbs. You can see there it's quite a bit smaller than this one, because it puts its energy into lots of little bulbs instead of one big one. So the flower from this won't be as good. But it does mean I have lots more hyacinth plants, so I'll just snap these all off and I'll keep these little baby bulbs, and I'll grow them probably in a separate pot, because after 2 or 3 years they will be large enough to flower themselves. So going on, I've got some more here. There's another example of one that's split into 2 bulbs. So I'll take off that one as it's a bit small to flower. Same with these 2 small ones. I mean, I could leave them on and these would fatten up even faster next year than they would if they're away from the mother plant. But as I say, there'll be lots more leaves and it'll shade out my flowering display. So I'll just clear a little bit of the dirt off them. There's another one. So I should have 5 bulbs in total. This one's a bit messier looking, so I'm just going to peel off a tiny bit of that skin, just because it's going a bit rotten in places and it's quite damp. There we are. That stuff underneath looks good. It's quite healthy as well. And then finally I have this one. I'll do the same with. But all in all, I'm very happy with my bulbs. They've done well this year. None of them have gone soft and rotted away. They all feel nice and hard and mature. They've all fattened up well, so I'm expecting a good display. You can see they've got lots of white material underneath, which is the fresh storage tissue that they've grown, and they all feel really hard. They're really solid bulbs with going to have a lot of energy in them for flowering. So I'll keep you guys updated with these. I'm probably going to do a planting video maybe in autumn again. I mean, they do look a lot uglier than the plants you get in the shops, but I'm hoping these are going to flower well. As I said before, they don't normally flower as well the second time you have them, because when they're bred in the farms for flowering that autumn, they normally cut the flowers off and put all the energy into the bulb, whereas last year these were actually flowering and put a lot of energy into the flowers. So not going to have the best display, but having said that, the bulbs are actually quite big, so I might be lucky. So I'll keep these bulbs now in a cool, dry place, probably about 15 degrees or something like that. keep them there until September when the cooler weather comes, and then I'm going to plant them up probably back in this container again. And the smaller bulbs that I have here, I'm just going to put them all into one kind of pot, and I'll just let them fatten up by themselves and see how they do. So that's my hyacinth bulbs. As I said, I'm quite happy with them this year, and hopefully we'll have another nice display next year.